This video is brought to you by GreaterCommons.com. Greater learning, greater opportunities, greater life. Next thing we're going to look at is installing the Go programming language. So again, I ask you just to focus in on the screen and learn, pay attention, ask questions when you're, confused or like I don't quite understand that step. And then once we've done all that, we'll have another 10 minutes or so to try some hands-on stuff, and then we'll give a language introduction, and then maybe I'll just give a preview of server. So we'll see how far we get. So to install the Go programming language, there is Golang.org. It's the official website of the Go programming language. And you could come here, and you could even come over to Try Go. Let me see, pop out. And that's going to take you to the Golang Playground. And so you could run code right here on the Golang Playground, and it's going to show you the results right down here. Hello. And it printed out, UTF-8 characters just to show you could store all the characters in the world using this. And this language is built to natively work for all the languages in the world: Chinese, Korean, Japanese, English, Russian, Cyrillic, whatever. I don't even know if that's characters, but it came to mind. And so right here you could just start coding. There is no code check. There is no like linting or code completion here. So, but yeah, just start typing it and do the code. But the main point being is Golang.org is the official website of the Go programming language. And just to give you a little bit of a tour here, we have documents. When you come into documents, documentation for the language, they have some things in here, getting started, a tour of Go. Unless you've had programming experience, all this is going to blow you out of the water. But effective Go and the language specification are the two definitive sources which you will consult as a Go programmer to see, can I do this? And it's written by geniuses, right? And so when you read it, it takes a long time to synthesize it. It's like you're a young monk and these are the master monks, and they gave you a cone to reflect upon sometimes some of the stuff that you read in there. And you'll reflect upon that for months on end occasionally. Like all ends are also beginnings. That's it. That's all you get from the master. Okay, let me reflect on that for a while, see what that means or whatever, right? So the language specification and effective Go are a little bit difficult to, just read through and understand the language. But I just want to point them out. These are the definitive sources of documentation for the language. Always worth consulting and seeing what they said. I know somebody who's one of the best Go programmers, incredible guy, 20 years as a professional developer using like C++ or C#, I can't remember that. And, it took him 6 months before he was able to understand the language specification, right? Like 6 months. And this guy knows what he's doing. He's a professional developer. So don't be off-put if you go in there and look around and you're like, what's up? So download Go is where you go to download the Go programming language for Windows or Apple or Linux. And this is where you get the code to install it. And so there's a SHA-256 checksum. What is that? That is to verify that what they wanted to send you and what you received are the same thing. So SHA is a hash algorithm. A hash algorithm takes input and produces a small output. And the output will always be the same. So the word I'm saying there is hash algorithm, right? And let me just see what that comes up with on Wiki. Hash algorithm, hash function, cool. And a hash function is any function that can be used to map data of arbitrary size to data of fixed size. So it's a hash function. Okay, it's just a function in programming computer science. So I could take anything and run it into a hash function like SHA-256, and it'll take whatever size and produce a smaller fixed size output. And what that does is every time it'll be the same. Unless I change the file, then it'll be completely different. If I change the file by one character, the output will be completely different. So the point I'm trying to make is that this thing here, when you see this, SHA checksum, and then this crazy number here, they took this binary file and they ran it through a SHA-256 checksum. And they got this number. Well, I'm going to download this from them. When I receive it, I could then run that file I downloaded from them through a SHA-256 checksum, and I should get the exact same number because we're using the same algorithm, putting the same file through it. It should produce the same output. If it's different, then the file they intended to send me and the file I received are different. And there's a man in the middle that's trying to hack my computer. So it's just a security prevention deal to make sure what you asked for from them is actually what you received. Okay? And if you're wondering how do I run a SHA-256 Mac, right? I could just say SHA-256 Mac, how to generate a SHA-1 and SHA-256 on a Mac. And here is SHA-SUM A256 and then the name of the file. So we'll add this in to our little document of code goodness for the terminal. We're just going to add that right there. That came out crazy. It brought in the HTML formatting. So I'm going to Command T, create a new tab, Command V, paste it, Command A, select all, Command X, cut it, go back to my document. That stripped out all of the formatting and it did that. SHA A261 SUM file, right? And produces a hash algorithm, hash function. And that hash function is right here. Okay, and a hash function does and I like this description so much from the beginning. Hash function is a function that can be used to map data of arbitrary size to data of fixed size. This is computer science. We are moving into computer science. This isn't like Dreamweaver, GUI, WYSIWYG, drag it and drop it, and and you get a web page. This is like, I'm going to understand the fundamentals of what's happening. I'm totally going to take a tangent, but I'm going to save it to the end. So all of you remember, at the end of this video, before I stop the video, Todd, tell us about the tangent. Tell us how computers work. So I'm going to teach you how computers work in 5 minutes. I'll do that in its own video, actually, but remind me at the end of this when we install Go to show you that. So I'm going to download Go for Mac. And that was right here. And so I'm going to download that. So it's downloading to my computer. I'm going to come back here. And it's Go 1.7 Darwin AMD 64 package. And I'm looking for the checksum on that. And Go 1.7 Darwin AMD 64 package, right? That's mine. So here's my checksum over here. And it's asking me if I want to throw this away or keep it. I'm going to keep it. So it just brought it down. And now this is located right now in downloads, Go 1.7, whatever. And so I'm going to go to my terminal. I'm going to do a CD tilde. Okay, so CD tilde. And that's actually, I'm just showing you that because you'll sometimes see CD tilde or, okay, so it's just an or, meaning I'll do this and I'll also do this. And change directory to users root directory, to users directory. And this one is equal to change directory to users directory. So you could do it either way. So if you just do CD and nothing else, like CD into this folder or CD up out of that folder, dot, dot, dash. If I just do CD, right, like right now, this is where I'm at. CD, enter. Print working directory, I'm now in my users folder. So that takes me to the users folder, okay? And then and then inside here, change directory into downloads. And I'm hitting tab to complete. And now inside downloads, ls, I can list everything. And I can see that I have, Go 1.74 right there. And so I could do that SHA, oh, I have this, Control C to quit that. And so I could do SHA, what's the code? It's SHA, I need to bring it down a level because that's not the order in which we ran it. SHA A256. To go to the root. That goes to root. That's like, this is the start of your directory file system. The /. SHA-SUM A256. SHA-SUM -A256, and it's Go 1.7, right? Run it. Produce that code, EE7FCC, right? Come back here and look at that. And right here, EE7FCC, right? Ends BDC9. ends BDC9. The file they intended is the file I received. Sweet. You guys just learned something really cool and powerful. Next deal. So we download that, and then I just run it and install it on my computer. That could go anywhere on your computer. You could stick that anywhere. That's like the code that Go needs on your computer to run. Okay? You can put it wherever you want. Traditionally speaking, on Windows, it's going to be C:\/ on Windows, right? C:\/ right at your root on Windows, okay? Of your C drive. On a Mac, you're going to put it, change directories, /user. This is where it'll get put. Right? And you can see Go right there. Go, that folder, that's where it got put. If I ran it and installed it. Okay? And so that's where it gets put on your Go folder. Now we have to set two environment variables. So environment variables are variables for your computer's environment. And basically, here's my description of environment variables. They tell my computer where to find stuff. So if I try to run some Java code, like my computer is going to be like, oh, you want me to run Java? Okay, where's the program that lets me run Java? And it'll start looking through all my environment variables. Do you have anything in here? And it'll go down each of them actually, and it'll be like, do you know how to run Java? No, man, I don't know how to run Java. I'm like the Python people. We do Python here. Oh, okay. It'll go down the next environment variable path. Do you know how to do Java? No, we don't know how to do Java. We are a special SDK for graphics processing. Oh, okay. And it'll keep going down all of my environment path variables, right? And then eventually it'll come to the one that knows how to do Java. Okay, here, run this, and it'll give it that stuff to run. Those are environment variables, path variables. And we could see one of the most famous path variables is echo $, or one of the most famous environment variables, echo $path. And so here I've just put in a bunch of things that, hey, here's some paths for you to look down when you're trying to run stuff. So it's an environment variable. Cool? And so we have some specific environment variables that we need to set. And I think echo E and V, I don't think that's going to do anything. That just printed that out. All right, so I'm going to change Go. Where's this going to take me? CD? Where's it go take me, though? Just CD, nothing else. To users directory, right? So I'm back in my users directory. And that's where I'm at, in ls-la. And I'm going to have a bash rc and a bash profile. Okay, so I have those files there. And we're going to put our environment variables in here. Okay, so I'm going to look at each of those and see what I see in there. So I'm going to do, how would I open up the contents of a file? Cat, right? Cat, bash, I don't know why they call it. And I'm going to cat bash profile, okay? And I'm going to see what's in there. That's it. Now I'm going to cat.bash rc and see what's in there. And so here are some variables that have been set. And here's for Go programming. And I actually saw one I liked better, which I'm going to change mine. But we need to set those environment variables. And the environment variables that we need are Go root. So what's Go root pointing towards? Where's user local Go? What is that? Where we just saw user local, and I showed you that, and Go, and why did I show you that? What's there?
Oh, the language information.
Yeah, the thing I downloaded from golang.org, that's where it goes, and that's what makes Go code run, and I stick it there. And I need to say, here's this environment variable, Go root, and that environment variable tells the Go programming language and my computer, this is where the Go stuff to run Go, it's located here, Go root. Got it? Cool. And then I also have my Go path. My Go path is going to be my workspace where I keep all of my Go code. So you need to have a Go workspace. You should only have one Go workspace. If you're just starting with Go, I don't care how long you've been programming, how long you've been a developer, one Go Workspace until you've worked with the language for a while and you are confident that you know what you're doing and you can have multiple Go Workspaces. Until then, one Go Workspace. And that's where you keep all your Go code. And the reason you do it in one place is because this is how they do namespacing and like keeping code separate. Okay, so they do namespacing in one workspace and package management too. So managing packages from other people. So that might not mean anything if you're new to programming, but one Go Workspace. So I have to create a Go Workspace. So let's just review the steps. Download from golang.org something to install. I could run SHA sum -a 256, check the SHA sum hash function, hash algorithm if I want. Make sure what was sent, what was intended to be sent is what I actually received. Right? I run that, it installs it somewhere. Now I have to set some environment variables. So I need to have a Go root environment variable, and then I need a Go path environment variable, and those need to point to, Go root points to where that binary I downloaded from golang.org is installed, and Go path is pointing to my Go Workspace. Okay? So I'm going to add those to my bash profile. I put mine in my bash RC because I took a course on the terminal and the guy had me set it up that way, and I've never changed it back. But yours should be in bash profile. So I'm going to copy these lines of code, and I'm actually going to grab two others. I like it slightly different. So let me put that into our file. Installation. I think I'm at 18. That's good. Download Go. Okay, so that's at golang.org. Check the SHA sum SHA 256 if you like. Okay, and then install what you downloaded. And then set environment variables. And we are going to cd. So we change into our user directory in the nano.bash_profile. And that's going to open up bash profile in a text editor. And then we're going to add this to our file. Close, exit the file, save the file. So let me go get, let me just add that in. But I have that code right here. I'll pause the video while I find it. All right, so here's what you add to your file right here. And you're going to change this to point to wherever, like if yours on Windows, it's going to be in a different place. And in Windows, you do environment variables different. So I really want to encourage you to try to do this on a Linux machine or on a Mac. Okay? And who's going to be working on Windows? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So maybe we'll set you guys up with AWS right out of the bat. And then you could do all your stuff up on the cloud.
So here's some news about Windows Bash or something like that. Do you know anything about that?
Windows Bash, yeah, I did hear something about that. Like, you know, that they now have, you could do terminal commands on Windows. It's there, right? Yeah. Yeah, we were doing that a little bit. You and I, weren't we? I don't know much about it, though. I always work on a Mac, except for when I create videos, I do it on Windows so that when I hit problems, I could solve them for Windows users. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Videos at home. Okay, so that's that. So I take this. Let me just show you how you do it. And I go to my terminal, and I'm going to exit this. Oh, I just catted it. So now ls-la, and there's my bash profile. So I do nano.bash_profile. I'm editing my bash profile. So then I just paste this in. That's it. If I want to, I could put a comment above it. Right? Okay? And then I'd save it. So I'd Control X and save, but I'm not going to save it because mine's different. And I'd be up and running with that. Last thing I need to do is I need to create my Go Workspace. So I said my Go Workspace was located Home, Documents, Go Workspace. And so home is my user's home, right, which is this, just CD. That's my user's home. And actually, if I look in here, I have a folder called, it's in Documents. Because see, Home, Documents, Go Workspace. If I look in there, I have Go Workspace. Now this could be called anything. I just call it Go Workspace because that makes sense to me. It's a good name because that's my Go Workspace, so let's call it my Go Workspace folder. All right? Inside, so you'd make dir Go Workspace, and your Go path points to your Go Workspace folder. And then inside Go Workspace, you need 3 folders: bin, package, and source. So you just create those 3 folders, you're done. So to create those 3 folders, make dir bin, package, source. I'll make those 3 folders. Because I'm inside my Go Workspace, make those folders, they're my 3 folders. So make those 3 folders. So let's review, because it's not complicated. It's just cooking, it's a recipe. I'm showing you, take the cream, add it to the pan, put in a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, right? Stir it, I don't know, whatever. Right? I'm just telling you. So you download, you go to golang.org, you download the binary, you do the SHA checksum if you want, and then you install that code, right? Double click it, whatever. And then you set your environment variables. Your Go root points to wherever that binary got installed. Your Go path points to your Go Workspace. And then you also set a couple of variables here so that your Go path bin, which, by the way, will be this bin right there. And that stands for binary. So when I build code into binary, it runs. It could just run. Like I could just enter the name of the executable and it runs. Right? Because it knows to look in my Go path bin for an executable when I tell it to run an executable. And oh, there it is. Run it. And my Go root bin, right, is the bin of this Go root. So there's some binary in there. Let's have that done. And add that to that path variable. So that's what that one does. So that's it, you know. I just do those things, create my workspace, and I'm ready to start doing some Go stuff. And I could check my installation when it's all done. Check installation by running this code, Go version. I could do Go version, and it'll tell me the version of Go. I could even do Go env, and it'll tell me my environment variables for Go. So I have Go up and running when I'm able to get that stuff. So Go version, Go env, and you need this with your workspace. Okay, so Go root, and Go path. And your Go Workspace needs 3 folders in it: bin, package, and source. Cool? Anybody have questions? Yes.
So it's mkdir and then what we want to name our directory?
Yes, ma'am.